Since it came up, I figured we would do a quick rundown of what it's like to operate the icom 7700. This was just below the flagship model, number 2 in the line for icom as far as HF or shortwave radios, around 2009, 2010. MSRP $49.95 back then. I did not pay that. Power on sequence here. Very nice 7-inch LCD, which is not a touchscreen. Ham rigs were not touchscreens yet. So this is all based on soft keys, like you might see in like a fancy airplane cockpit. They change functions and labels based on what's going on. It's very cool. The frame rate it seems to be slow on the Spectrum display, right? Compared to like modern radios. But you can tell with the actual signal meter, it's very high frame rate. Let's see if I can get some motion on it. That actually feels very much like a analog needle on a meter from back in the day. They paid a lot of attention to that, making sure it felt like the old radio, so to speak. We're just listening to horrendous RFI. This is what all your laptop chargers and all your cell phone chargers sound like to a ham operator. It's just garbage noise everywhere. You can see the herringbone patterns, and it's horrible. After 6 p.m., this will quiet down a little bit, but during the business hours, the radio bands are just full of noise from everybody's gadgets these days. So the buttons change feature based on what you're doing. The scope, you can change size on it. You can change the attenuation on it so that the scale is different, so that peaks show up in a different color. Set little markers so you can have a placeholder. Very cool. Separate transmit and receive frequencies for a T and an R there. But all sorts of neat features. You can exit and then say, I go into RTTY mode, which is a data mode. It's got a decoder built in. So if there was a RTTY signal on the air, I would be actually reading their text there. It's just trying to make sense of just random noise right now. You can also plug in a USB keyboard and type messages and transmit with this. So there's a lot of button pushing and feature setting going on. Everything's all modal depending on where you're at. But yeah, it's just amazing. You can change filter sizes and all that. Like, it's basically an EQ, right? High and low cut. If you're familiar with audio stuff, and lots of things that you can tweak on that to kind of scalpel out noise and get just the signal you want, but a very nice UI for all of that. I love this radio. It's my main voice radio. I use other rigs for data modes because they're a little more easily hooked up to computers. Some of them just have a USB port on the back. This has a serial port and then audio in and out. You got to make up some cables for it. You can still do it, but this thing is just a monster of a voice radio. It sounds really good on transmit and receive. I've got my big dynamic microphone hooked up to it for hi-fi sounding stuff like that. So that's the main radio, the centerpiece of the shack. And yeah, it's a treasure. I'm incredibly lucky to have gotten the deal that I got on it, and I will never sell it. That's all.